Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies. And this is Arkansas, from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry by Albert G. Mackey. Arkansas. The modern school of historians, Masonic and profane, write history from original sources when possible. But in this case, that method is no longer possible, as all the records of the Grand Lodge of this state were burned in 1864 and again in 1876, when all records gathered since 1864 were destroyed, depriving us of all early records. From what had been previously written, several accounts have appeared, and from these, this article is compiled. Passing over the tradition that the Spaniards had introduced Freemasonry into Arkansas about the time of the Revolution, we find the first lodge was established at Post, Arkansas under the authority of a dispensation granted by the Grand Master of Kentucky, November 29, 1819, and a charter was granted August 29, 1820. But was surrendered August 28, 1822. For several years, Masonic matters were dormant. The Grand Master of Tennessee granted a dispensation for Washington Lodge in Fayetteville, December 24, 1835, and for some reason it was renewed November 12, 1836, and received a charter October 3, 1837. The Grand Lodge of Tennessee granted a dispensation to Clarksville Lodge at Clarksville October 5, 1838, and a charter October 12, 1839. The dates are taken from Drummond, and you will observe he says the Grand Master issued the dispensation to Washington Lodge, but that the Grand Lodge issued the dispensation to Clarksville Lodge, as we have noticed a similar statement from a past Grand Secretary of Arkansas. They do not conform to the usual plan of the Grand Master issuing the dispensation and the Grand Lodge issuing the charter. However, this custom was quite general. The next attempt to form a lodge at Post, Arkansas was under the Grand Lodge of Louisiana, which granted a charter January 6, 1837, and a charter seems to have been granted to a lodge at Little Rock on the same date. And when the capital was moved to Little Rock, Morning Star Lodge at Post, Arkansas surrendered its charter. The Grand Master of Alabama granted a dispensation to Mount Horeb Lodge at Washington in 1838, Washington Lodge number 82, under a charter from the Grand Lodge of Tennessee, Western Star Lodge number 43 at Little Rock, under a charter of the Grand Lodge of Louisiana, Morning Star Lodge number 42 at Post, Arkansas, under a charter from the Grand Lodge of Louisiana. Mount Horeb Lodge, UD, under dispensation from the Grand Lodge of Alabama, met at Little Rock, November 21, 1838, and formed the Grand Lodge of Arkansas. The combined membership is put at 100. These lodges took new charters, and Washington Lodge became number 1, Western Star number 2, Morning Star number 3, and Mount Horeb number 4. The first two are in existence, but the last two are defunct. The Grand Chapter of Royal Archmasons was organized April 28, 1851, by 3 chapters located at Fayetteville, Little Rock, and El Dorado, which had previously received charters from the General Grand Chapter of the United States. The Grand Council of Royal and Select Masters was established in the year 1860. The Grand Commandery of the Order of the Temple was organized on March 23, 1872. A lodge, council, chapter, Council of Kadash, and consistory of the Scottish Rite are established at Little Rock. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.